I should have known something was wrong the moment we left the diner. The night was heavy with fog, rolling in thick waves across the asphalt. Rain drizzled steadily against the windshield, and the headlights barely pierced the darkness. I gripped the wheel tighter, my knuckles pale, trying to shake off the uneasy feeling in my chest. Emily shifted beside me, checking the GPS on her phone. "This can't be right," she muttered. "What's wrong?" I asked, keeping my eyes on the road.
It says we're still on Hollow Creek Road, but we should have hit Route 56 by now. I frowned. Probably just bad reception. It's rural out here. She tapped the screen again. "Michael, it's frozen. The blue dot keeps spinning. We're not moving." A slow, crawling unease settled in my gut. I stole a glance at the gas gauge. Half a tank left. We'd only been driving for about 20 minutes since the diner. There was no way we should still be on this road. That's when I saw the first sign. Hollow Creek Road, bent at the base, rusted, faded white letters barely visible in the dim light. A mile later, we saw the same sign again. Emily's voice was barely a whisper. "Michael, how is that possible?" I forced a chuckle, though it felt wrong in my throat. Must be another road sign. But then came the truck, old, rusted out. Sitting on the side of the road, its cab shattered, vines creeping up its tires. We passed it once, and then again, and again. Emily's breathing grew rapid. "We're driving in circles." I pressed harder on the gas, the car accelerating through the winding road. Trees blurred past in dark silhouettes. I refused to believe we were caught in some impossible loop. Then I saw the tree, twisted and gnarled, its thick roots spilled out from the earth like something half-buried, clawing its way to the surface. Its bare branches stretched toward the sky like skeletal fingers. I had seen it before. I slammed my foot on the brakes. The car skidded to a stop, the tires kicking up mist from the rain-slick pavement. Emily's fingers clutched my arm, her nails digging into my skin. "This isn't real," she whispered. I turned off the car. Silence pressed in, heavy and unnatural. Even the rain seemed muted. Then, a flicker of movement at the edge of my vision. I turned my head sharply. A figure stood just beyond the tree line, still, watching. My heart thudded in my chest. "Did you see that?" Emily nodded, her face pale. A woman, ragged clothing, long, wet hair clinging to her face. She was staring at us, but her eyes, she had none, just empty sockets, black as the night. And then, without moving, she vanished. Emily gasped, slapping her hands over her mouth. "Michael, go, now!" I fumbled with the keys, my fingers numb with cold. The engine roared to life. The tires spun against the wet pavement before gripping and propelling us forward. We drove in silence, neither of us speaking. And yet, Hollow Creek Road, the rusted truck, the twisted tree, again and again and again. Emily let out a strangled sob. "We're never getting out." The radio crackled to life. Static. Then, a voice, warped and distant, whispering beneath the interference. "Turn back. Turn back. Before it's too late." Emily clawed at the volume knob, but it wouldn't shut off. The voice grew frantic. "They know you're here. They know. Turn back now." Then, a loud screech, and silence. I yanked the dial, but the radio was already dead. The air inside the car had dropped to a bone-chilling cold. Then came the tapping, software slow, deliberate, against Emily's window. I didn't want to look, but I did. She was there, the eyeless woman. Her skin was sallow and wrinkled, her mouth contorted in an unnatural grin. Her bony fingers scraped against the glass, leaving behind long, wet streaks. And then, she was inside the car, sitting in the back seat. Her lips moved silently, whispering words I couldn't hear. I couldn't breathe. I couldn't move. Emily let out a blood-curdling scream. I slammed on the gas. The car fishtailed before straightening out. The road stretched ahead, endless, unbroken. I didn't care. I just had to keep moving. The woman was gone. Or maybe she never was. Minutes passed, maybe hours. Then, ahead of us, in the middle of the road, something stood in the headlights. A sign. Not the usual rusted one. This one was different. Welcome to Hollow Creek. Population 0. Emily's breathing hitched. Michael, look at the town name. I read it again. Hollow Creek. The same road. A town that didn't exist on any map. A whisper, soft as the wind, brushed against my ear. You're home now. The headlights flickered. The darkness swallowed us whole.